This is your host, Steve from the back, as always, and I figured I'd go on this rant because, I'm probably about to go to bed, pretty soon, and I thought it'd be funny because, this is a rant where, this is like a buzzed alcohol rant, I have to go to work tomorrow, and the weekend's coming up, and, obviously, I'm just treating myself to a couple of drinks, and I figured, it's kind of comical sometimes to go on a rant when you're buzzed, because, it's just a little different, so... I figure I'd do one of those. I've done it before, but I figure, I might as well do it now. Because, the frequency has been tweaked. So, due to the alcohol. So I might as well just go on a rant and give you that type of energy. So, first off, if you're not familiar with this channel, this is Steve's Art and Fun channel. That's what the channel's called, if you're new to it. And what this channel actually is it was originally made to be a channel that focuses on art, creativity, recreation, and spirituality. And it kind of is that. I mean, I guess it kind of is still that. I mean, sometimes, rants get crazy, you hear crazy shit on this channel. I speak my mind, I don't really pull back on this channel. This is kind of almost like sometimes a venting channel. But at the end of the day, it's really made to make you think, and then when you come to conclusions on your own, you think things and then you act. That's kind of the point of it. The point is to give you ideas, because I'm a person, I'm not no special person, I'm just some guy, and this is for you to kind of listen to another person and then get ideas. That's actually really the point of this channel. That's really what it is. It's the point of this channel is for you to hear something from another person's perspective, get ideas, and then do what you want to do with it. Right? So, I was going to talk about basically, what I was going to talk about because I was, drinking, and this is kind of like a buzzed rant, a buck wild. I love using the term buck wild and crazy rant because, it's just funny. It's true. So this rant, I'm gonna basically talk about your primal, a primal frequency, a based frequency, So, a lot of people, they think okay, man, a frequency that's based is supposed to be so negative, right? Maybe not, maybe, but I look at it I've realized over years that I basically function on a very based frequency. If that makes sense. A very primordial, very primal frequency. It's kind of it just is what it is. I realize, I only have one life to live in this physical realm, obviously, on this earth. Obviously, I'm gonna die. I've had deaths in my family. I had a death recently in my family. And in recent years, I had another death in my family. And the whole thing is this, man. I look at it when you see shit like that, it makes you realize that when you're born into this world, you're given a choice, right? You could listen to things people say you could listen to things that are very superficial. People have opinions of you, people have opinions of other people, but I'm not saying it's a must. What I'm saying is you may come to an understanding that, like, at the end of the day, you are who you are, right? And you may want to realize, like, at the end of the day, you want to get what you want out of this life, right? Like, fuck the bullshit. It's like, fuck the American dream shit. Oh, I want to be rich, or I want to be in charge of people and all this shit. Like, day to day, what fulfills you? Because the truth of the matter is, when you die, right? Because you will die. Inevitably, you will die. When you do die, do you want to? Because you got to realize, time is eternal. Time is a concept, but time is reality. But at the same point, time is only eternity. When you live and you're born through a physical body and you're a human being, maybe you're a human being. Not everyone is a human being, honestly. You know, there's other beings that exist. But I'm talking about human beings. When we are born into this realm, you have a certain amount of time before you expire, before your body expires and you die, right? When you're here, you only have so much time to accomplish certain things and to experience certain things. Now, you can learn lessons from this, or you could run through this blindly or in a daze or whatever, you know. Sometimes people use drugs and shit like that, and it puts them in a daze. Whatever. I don't do that. You know, I may sip a little drink here and there. Once in a fucking blue moon, I may smoke some weed. But that's as far as it really goes for me. But, you know, my whole thing is this, is that, well, you know, what I'm speaking on is you know, you only have so much time. So, one thing you can do is put things into perspective, right? And I'm one of those people where I'm a big perpetuator of, why don't you just, like, be yourself, right? You know, it's like, be yourself, and then realize what the pros and cons of that are. You know, like, because there's always negatives and positives, there's always pros and cons. Like, you trying to be yourself, you know, you're trying to make yourself comfortable, and then you're trying to, you know, accomplish things. Someone would look at me and say, oh, he's probably not a really ambitious person, but that's not really true. You know, it's probably just that my ambitions, I go about trying to accomplish those things differently than the next person. So, you know, but what I'm really trying to, you know, hit on in this rant is that, you know, I found often that very, like, superficial, you know, very, like, superficial type of energy a lot of times. You know, you're trying to fit in, you're trying to act this way, you're trying to act that way. That's just an act. Like, why are you trying to act that way? You know, a lot of people, they look at me and they just really are perplexed, I find, a lot of times. You know, they're like thinking, like, oh, well, why is this guy acting like this? You know what I mean? Or why does he look like this? Why does he behave like this? You know, like, what the fuck's wrong with him? You know what I mean? A lot of times people have that type of reaction. You know what I mean? What they don't understand is, I just look at things from a different perspective. You know, and I am inherently just what I am. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know how to explain or how to put it. You know, I mean, like, think of it this way. I'm not trying, this is not racist, but I'm just gonna say this, like, I'm a fucking African, I'm a wild African motherfucker, really. Like, I might be American raised or whatever, but genetically, I'm mostly an African motherfucker who's wild as fuck. You know what I mean? Who's generally classically masculine and wild. And, you know, in love women, you know what I mean? Don't take that the wrong way of thinking, oh, what are you trying to say, you're a player or something? No, not even. You know what I mean? I mean, some days I look at myself and I wish I was. Like, I wish I had that type of lifestyle or that type of action, but no, I'm just like your classic, you know, classically masculine black dude, very in touch with the primal side of my roots, you know what I mean? Like, I just, you know, I just am what I am. I don't really, I don't necessarily seem so normal and cookie cutter compared to most of society. You know, honestly, like when I leave my house, you know, people, I always get weird looks, you know, weird comments. I say something, people look at it, take it a weird way, they look at it weird, and honestly, at the end of the day, I really don't give a fuck, honestly. You know, because I look at it like, I have goals, and if you don't fit into that goal or that need or want, well then, to me, you're just like a passing thought. You know what I mean? You're not really relevant or whatever. You know, it doesn't really impact me. Now, obviously, I'm a fucking human being, so I'm gonna kind of feel a little bit negative emotion. Like, I'm thinking like, oh, well, these people think I'm weird, or these people think I'm this or that, or whatever. But at the end of the day, that is just a small thing. Like I said, that ends up being a fleeting thought. And then if you put that into comparison of like when you're an old ass man or old woman and you're like dying or whatever, and you know you're gonna pass on, all of that shit kind of means nothing. You know what I mean? I could only imagine like for instance, you know, I've had family members pass away, and I was thinking, like, when I was told, or when I knew that they were gonna, you know, pass on, I was thinking, like, I wonder what they were, like, thinking in their last moments. Like, I wonder if they were even, because, you know, the thing about the human brain is the human brain is weak. The human body and the human brain is weak. When you're passing, you may not even have, like, intelligible, really strong, centered thoughts. Your thoughts might be all scattered and crazy and like, you know, all over the place, racing thoughts. You might not even be able to come to like a real, concrete, smooth fucking thought. Like your last minutes or seconds are literally some crazy splash, wild blur of shit. Because that's what this life, not this life, but that's what this human body is. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of fucked up, honestly, to think it, but it's the honest truth. It's just the truth. You know, you gotta think, a lot of people, when people are in their death throes, or whether it's calm or whether it's crazy or chaotic, you gotta think, they probably, they could be thinking literally anything. You know what I mean? You have no clue. I have no clue, but I know for sure, just because of, like, scientific fact, actually, you know, I know there had to be some crazy shit some people were thinking, you know, and then obviously they come to a different, you know, state or different calm or whatever when they're actually dead. But what I'm trying to say in this rant is basically, look here, man. It's a positive thing, and it's a good thing that you stick to your fucking gut and actually, you know, actually do what you want to do and try to be your fucking self. You know what I mean? Now, I'm not saying that that's a possible thing. I'm not saying it's a possible thing for everybody. What I'm saying is that, in my opinion, that's the way to go. And at the end of the day, I realize that, in my opinion, the main reason why anything even matters this is gonna sound crazy, this is gonna sound selfish, but I look at it like this. The main reason why anything matters while I'm even here on this earth is for my fulfillment. Now, to be real, that's actually some straight up satanic shit I just told you. And I do consider myself a Satanist, and I'm learning, I'm a young Satanist, I'm learning, you know, a lot of things. But I think one of the main reasons why I vibe so well with Satanism is because of that. Because I'm trying to fulfill myself before I fucking leave this earth, you know? And it just so happens, this will sound crazy as well, but it just so happens that the biggest thing I feel like will fulfill me on this earth is to be with a wife and to, like, you know, have her as part of my life is the biggest fulfilling thing. You know what I mean? So it's kind of weird because it's like, it's almost, it almost sounds funny. It's like, you know, you're trying to say you want to fulfill just yourself, but your fulfillment is in another person. You know what I mean? Well, whatever, it is what it is. You know, it could be anything. You know, I literally know people who are materialistic, and literally at the end of the day, the only thing that really matters to them is material things. Like, it's not about, their fulfillment is not in anything connected to another person. Like, that's a thing, but for them that's like a, you know, a back burner second thing at the end of, but I'm not that type of person. But it is what it is, you know. So this is going to be actually kind of a short rant. This rant is basically saying and talking about the idea of, you know, like, I talk about this a lot, you know, because for me it's an actual serious thing. It's like, you gotta realize that you're not here to be, like, selfless. You're not here to please people. You're not here to make people feel fucking comfortable. Because, first off, some of us, like myself, are fucking monsters anyway. We are literal monsters. You know, we didn't come out the same way like a lot of people came out. We came out the womb, you know, different. I'll just put it like that. We just came out different, you know, very different, and not always so positive either. You know, kind of like it's kind of like you, a person like me. You come out the womb in opposing force. You know, you're not like a force that fits in. You're an opposing force. You know, you oppose a lot of things. Your whole mentality from the get-go, as long as you can remember, is always just opposing. Like, you look at it like, huh, well, someone has this? No, I want that. Like, someone has their girl? Nah, I want that bitch. Someone has a wife? Nah, I want that bitch. Someone has this? Nah, I think I should have that shit. So, and I'm gonna talk about this a little too, because this kind of ties into that whole thing. It's like, you know, this world is not big enough for the both of us. It's big enough for me, motherfucker, but you're gonna have to go, because you gotta think, things do work like that. Like, you know, a company shuts down, another company gets set up, one bitch is single, that bitch ends up being another man's bitch at that point. You know, shit works like that. It's not this whole kumbaya, we hold hands, nah, fuck that shit. The reality is, you know, you find yourself in a position, you do certain things to get what you need, and another motherfucker is just assed out. And if his ass is weak enough to be, you know, to not make the mark, and he can't fucking fight for himself, fend for himself, he just can't make that mark, and he gets, you know, overpowered, well, then that's just the way it fucking is. Kind of like the laws of nature, you know, it's like a deer approaches another deer, they lock horns, they do this shit, one deer slips up, makes a wrong move, he cuts an angle, the other deer impales him and gores his ass, his intestines are hanging out, infection starts to set in, that motherfucker dies. Who procreates with the female, the one that survived, right? It's always been that way. Nothing's changed, it's always been that way. We're human beings, but it's the same shit. I look at it like that, right? That's how I look at things. So I look at it like, you know, in my religion, you know, being Satanism, it's not that cut and dry or black and white, but that's kind of what it is. It's kind of like, you know, there's something that they say where they say, blessed are the iron-handed for, how's it go? Something like, blessed are the iron-handed. I can't remember how it goes, but it's basically saying like, it's blessed are the iron-handed, for the unfit shall flee before them, right? So I'm looking like this. Well, then I guess you got to make yourself fucking iron-handed. You know, whether you want to take that literally or take that figuratively, right? Whether you want to be like me and you want to be fucking hitting concrete and hitting fucking wood and hitting boards and trees and shit because you literally want to make your knuckles strong enough to rock a motherfucker's jaw so he just fucking you know, gets literally rocked and his shit is just crushed, you know what I mean? Like has been done for centuries, you know, people have always done that shit. Or if you want to take that figuratively, you know, you just, the thing is this, it's survival of the fittest out here, man. That's what it really is. So, and it's always been that way. So, like I said, at the end of the day, be your fucking self, have some self-respect, have some fucking dignity at the same time, and realize that life is too short for you to not try to fulfill yourself. Fuck what people say, fuck their opinions, you know, they don't make or break fucking anything. If they were of such substance or of such, status, that they could really make or break shit, well then they would be that person. And then since they have actually risen to that position, it might favor your agenda for you to treat them just a little bit different, you know what I mean? Just like when you go into your job and you respect your boss, even though, let's say you're, like for instance, right, your boss could talk shit or get disrespectful, and you need to pay your rent, so you're not gonna fuck that motherfucker up. Now, you may be physically capable of simply just destroying that motherfucker, but you're not gonna do that shit because that's your boss, you know what I'm saying? He pays your fucking bills. He literally pays your bills. Literally his or her view of you is the reason why you like have your roof over your head, why the fuck you're not out in the street generally, you get what I'm saying? So it's like, you gotta think, shit in life is not black or white, there's nuance to it, but at the same time, you have to realize that you gotta pick and choose what the fuck you do, because it's your decisions at the end of the day that matter and depend on what's gonna actually happen, you know? And oftentimes it doesn't pay to try to like please people. That's why I'm not really too big on like trying to be like the nice guy and trying to please people and trying to act fake and all this shit, like, because me, the thing is this, it's like, if you respect me, I try to respect you, you know, I don't try to go out of my way to change, but I try to like you know, try to have peace, try to stay out of trouble, try to like, you know, just not, well fit in, yeah, like try to fit in, try to just be not so noticed, try to just like, you know, fly under the radar and do all the shit I have to do. But, you know, I also have to say, you know what, on the same coin, be your fucking self, okay? You gotta be yourself and be real, you know what I mean? Because there's way too much fake shit in this world in general for you to be fucking fake too. You know, it's like, why do you want to be fake when everything seems to be fucking fake? Because I see a lot of fake shit, okay? I'm just saying that I see a lot of fake ass shit. I'm not gonna get mean and try to talk about certain groups or certain people and this and certain things and whatever, but I see all types of fake shit. From the moment I literally leave my fucking door, from me being inside of my house to when I come back, literally I've seen so much fake shit that I seen through, because I see through people a lot of times. Like, I see through words, actions, mannerisms. Like, I know what the fuck's really going on. Like, get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, you know what I mean? And I'm not even gonna say that that's some special Negro power that only black people have to see through bullshit.
Like as if we were just raised to see through bullshit for survival. Like, no. Well, every type of human being can have that innate ability to see through bullshit and see what's really going on with people and whatever and things, you know. But I have it, so I don't know. It just is what it is. It's a gift, I guess. But you know, like I said, man, be real. Be fucking real. Keep it fucking real. Keep it fucking moving. But half of the time, people, like I said, you know what you already have to do. You just have to bring yourself to do it. And sometimes I'm the type of person that sometimes has to just come along and put the fucking bug in your ear and say something that no one else said. Maybe that'll get you to think just a little, to think differently than maybe you think, because it's coming from a completely different perspective. You know, that's why sometimes, like, it may sound fucking dumb and it may sound cheesy to some people. They're like, oh, that's corny. Like, why are you trying to be? Are you trying to be this? You're trying to be that? Like, no. Sometimes I don't like to just like look like everyone else and act or just approach or even look like everyone else. Because if I do, I mean, first off, it's just not inherently normal for me either. Because like I said, I'm a fucking wild African motherfucker. Literally, if I were to have my way sometimes, I don't want to, I'm not trying to like say this in a negative way or put negative attributes on cultures and things, but like half of the time, you'd think I was insane. You'd be like, why is that motherfucker like butt naked just crawling or just strutting around? Why is he's just like walking around casually in this environment like as if he's not even part of society? Like, cause in my mind, like I'm talking about deep in my like mind, like subconscious mind, I think of like the outdoors and I think of like that deep jungle shit. Like I'm thinking of like literally I'm deep in some fucking brush or some jungle somewhere, and it's hot as fuck anyway, so you're not gonna really wear much clothes anyway. I mean, you're walking out there pretty much half naked in the mud and in the dirt and shit. Like, you know, humans were basically cultivated in certain places, you know what I mean? Like, and that's where I come from, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, I am fucking still an African. Like, it doesn't, you know, it is what it is, so you gotta take that in deep consideration, okay? Just saying. Just saying. It's just the truth. It is what it is. You know, it's like I don't necessarily would appear so much what you normally would fucking see. You know, what's in me is not exactly what's in the next person. Is what I'm trying to say. Like the next person over. I don't know, man. Maybe they look like what you're used to. Maybe they behave like what you're fucking used to. Maybe their core values are what you're fucking used to. But when you fuck with me, when you come into my fucking area, it's not gonna be what the fuck you're used to by any means. I'm already gonna put that shit out there. You know what I mean? Like you're in for a fucking awakening or some shit. Good or bad. I don't know if it's good or bad, but you're not in for no shit that you think you fucking know. I'm gonna tell you that right here, right the fuck now. Okay? If you ever were to be fortunate or unfortunate enough to fucking meet me, you would know that this is not normal. This is not what I'm used to at all. So I'm putting that shit out there. Just tell you the truth. Okay? So I'm cutting this fucking rant off. I'm going my ass to bed soon. All type of bullshit around me is going on. I got all type of dumb shit going on around me. You know, so I have to work with that. I'm gonna have to go my ass to work and feel like I'm a fucking slave on a goddamn plantation or some shit. And do my fucking job. So this has been another Buck Wild and Crazy Rant. Keep it real, be your fucking self. This is Steve's Art and Fun channel. No fucking script. No script. Just real talk. All fucking day and tomorrow. Like always. Like, comment, sub, and share. And have a nice fucking day. And at some point, I don't know if this channel even gets to it, throw some fucking money at me, man, because I really need it. I think I was on you know, I'll kind of talk about this or maybe link it or some shit. Basically, I showed a tour of my little room. I live in a fucking rooming house, and you know, I was just showing kind of like what the living situation looks like, and it's not no slum shit either, but it's small and it's tiny, and like, you know, people give to patrons and all that type of shit. And I'm thinking, like, if I ever get to that level, obviously I'm not going to refuse donation, but right now what I'm dealing with, just like, sub, and share, like you do with any other thing, and I appreciate the views, comments, and whatever, likes. Don't come in my fucking channel commenting no bullshit either. Don't try to troll me, don't try to talk shit, because at that point, it's not going to be a blow up or anything. You're not going to get a reaction, because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck. Okay? But I appreciate the positive, so have a good day or have a good night or whatever, and you know, see you next video, or rant or whatever.